AskReddit. Men of Reddit, what are your tips for domestic bliss with your significant other? Wait 5 to 10 minutes before deciding if you really care about whatever it is you're about to argue over. Chances are, you only thought you cared. I like this because a lot of the time, 10 minutes is enough for me to realize that I was actually just hungry, sleepy, horny, or something equally mundane. But those 10 to 20 minutes of silent reflection do tend to freak out my significant other a bit. I wish there was a nice way to say, I'm trying to figure out if I'm mad or not. Here's a few quickie. Give without intention to get. The other day, I did all my chores and my wife's weekly chores and bought her favorite dessert. Did it kill an afternoon? Sure. Has she been in an awesome mood ever since? 1 week later? You betcha. I had no idea, nor did I really care if she would reciprocate or want sex or whatnot. But she is just an overall much happier person right now. Take time to listen and understand. Sitting down and letting her vent if she's in a bad mood. She will probably say something like, "You probably don't even care." That's when you reinforce that you truly do care. It's like with your boss almost. You may not care about a topic that they talk about, but it's important to them, and therefore important to you. Cuddle. Sometimes just because, without intention of anything else happening. Just a nice rub of the shoulders and holding each other tightly. It's showing love rather than just saying. Compliment. Take the time to compliment before prompted. Hey babe, that dress looks really nice on you, as she's getting ready. I really like how you did that eyeliner thing last time we went out, as she is doing her makeup. Show her how much you appreciate the effort that she puts in. Ask for opinions. This kind of goes along with listening. Many times guys get gung-ho and start just doing crap. Take the time, especially if it's a two-person project, to get her opinion. Start with something like, I think we should do X. What do you think? Instead of, this is how we are going to, this is how it should be done. You get it. I wish more people thought this way, especially about giving without expecting things in return. It's easy to become self-absorbed and unappreciative of your partner when you've been together a long time. If you have a date night and stick with it, you're doing better than most blokes. Me, want to have a date night? Like when we go out for dinner and drinks or something like that? Her, can't we just sit on the couch and watch Netflix? Me, sheds tears. Yes we can. Try not to spend every second of every day together. Make sure you both have some alone time. You'll value the time you do have together more. You can't miss someone if they're never gone. As much as I love my significant other, I quite like it when she's away for the evening, when I can just lay on the sofa watching all the crap on TV he doesn't like. Talk. If something is pissing you off, or you'd like something done differently or whatever, talk about it rationally and find a solution. If you don't, you'll mention it in a fight or whatever, and then it won't come out rationally. Similarly, if your partner does the same to you, be receptive and try to find a solution. Not everything about a relationship is perfect. Talking about problems or potential problems is not an admission of failure. I wish my boyfriend did this. He grew up in a house with zero communication until everything boiled over. He thinks I'm being mean or rude or trying to be insulting when I say I think he is wrong about something or that I don't like something. Example, a few weeks ago he showed me some YouTube channel he kept insisting I'd love. Some girl named Poppy. Anyways, I watch one video and say, I don't like it. What? Why? I just don't. It seems stupid to me, and she seems very annoying. He gets quiet and the subject is dropped. Fast forward to a few days ago and he wakes up and I'm watching the new Sherlock. He says, are you watching Sherlock again? Netflix released the newest one. What? He gets out of bed and is heading to go smoke a cig and stops and turns and says, you know, I'd never tell you the stuff you like is stupid even if I thought it was, and walks out. I'm confused, so I follow him after a few minutes and go out and sit down and ask him what he is talking about. And he had apparently been mad for weeks that I thought some girl's YouTube video was stupid and didn't want to watch more. We had to have a 30-minute conversation, laying out that he will always like things I don't, and vice versa, If we don't like something, we should tell each other so we can find things we both enjoy. And me saying I think a video is stupid is in no way calling him stupid. Treat your significant other as equals in every way. Make quality time to be together, just the two of you. Do things that make both of you happy, rather than to drift apart by overly indulging in activities that only one person likes but the other endures. Very true. I want to add, if one person is making all the plans in the relationship and you don't like what they planned, tell them. If they truly care for you, they will listen and do what you want. The planning things out for the both of you is their way of telling you they want to spend time with you. I was in a relationship where I did all the planning. She broke up with me, and one of the reasons was we didn't spend enough time together. It's not you versus her in anything. It's both of you against the problem. To men who tend to look for solutions in all things, miscommunication can be the problem. Sometimes you shouldn't go into the problem-solving mode if that itself creates problems between you. She may just want someone to vent to commiserate with, or to take her side. If you've had a miscommunication, it's not. You're right and she's wrong, or vice versa. Both your perspectives are valid, and you need to figure out how the both of you can work together to prevent that in the future. Go to bed angry? Wake up and talk it out. There's some bad advice out there about never going to bed angry. When tempers are worn thin and you're both tired, on top of that, you're both more likely to say things which can't be taken back. Just don't invite that into your life. Learn how to get a little space when you need it, for both of you, rather than trying to force a conversation you may both regret. But likewise too, you can't let problems fester. Talk about it, calmly, within 24 hours. The 80-20 rules. You should feel like you're doing 80% of the work, because she'll feel the same. You're aware of everything you're doing for her, even the behind-the-scenes stuff she doesn't realize. Likewise, the other way around. On 80% of those things she does that annoy you, just learn to live with it. No one is the fantasy in your head. If you don't learn to live with a real woman, faults and all, you'll learn to live alone. That's 20% though. That's what you earn by accepting the 80. Some compromises have to be made to live together, so if it really bothers you that much, then she'll have to learn to work with you. Marriage advice. 1. Pick your battles. Seriously, this helped me so much over the years as I've come to understand that most things just aren't important enough to argue over, and that you don't lose anything by letting things go. 2. Don't take your partner for granted. Make sure to tell them that you love them, that you appreciate them, that you're attracted to them. If your partner cooks dinner, even if it's the 10,000th dinner you've had, be gracious and say, "Thank you for making dinner. It was delicious." I know my girl loves me, but she just doesn't get that I want to hear it from her sometimes without me saying it first, even when I tell her. I feel like the woman in this relationship, I swear. Same. My girlfriend translates vocal "I love you" into genuine real-life acts of love. I struggle with it from time to time, being emotionally abused as a child and a young adult. Sometimes I just need to hear it, but it's good to remember that caring isn't just words. It helped me a lot, and maybe remembering that will help you too. Keys to a successful relationship. 1. Have a blanket for each of you on the bed. Blanket hogs end lives. 2. Happy wife equals happy life applies to all. Wives, husbands, make it your job to make every day better for your significant other. Do things, within reason, to that end, and you can't go wrong. 3. Pick your battles. My wife needs the apartment clean at all times. Somewhere around year 1, I realized it's just easier to keep it clean. Now our apartment is clean, and we don't fight about it. Conversely, she came to realize online gaming doesn't pause. LOL. 4. Keep separate savings accounts. Use them as you individually see fit. Do you want a PlayStation? Dip into your savings. Does she want an Xbox? She can dip into hers. Having an emergency? Take from both, but always be open and honest about spending. Keep separate savings accounts. Personally, I recommend to also have a shared account. Use this shared account for shared purchases like groceries. Whenever needed, both of you transfer an equal amount of money to this shared account, or roughly equal, or more or less if one of you has far more income. Depends on the situation. Just talk about the details. Don't take anything for granted. The statement is overused, so it loses its potency, but it's true. Suppose your significant other was your dream girl back in the day, and how lucky, awesome you felt to have her be with a schmuck like you. You put in a lot of effort to be worthwhile. That effort is a lifelong commitment if you want domestic bliss. Alternatively, you could constantly lower expectations, which can also result in domestic bliss, but it's riskier and less rewarding. My wife's first husband, married for 24 years, made that mistake. They met as teenagers, 14 and 16, and married when she turned 18. 20 years later, he was taking her massively for granted, and that's why I'm her second husband. My wife and I are 28 and have been together since we were 15. My biggest failure as a husband has been me putting my wife's personality and emotions in a box and limiting my perspective of her to only what I think I understand. She is a human being with layers of complex feelings and emotions that are both spoken and unspoken. We are both ever-changing, but we're not actively acknowledging who the other person was becoming. Not that we were necessarily growing apart, but our intimacy, love languages, hobbies, etc. were slowly changing in time. She is not the same woman she was even a few years back when we were in college. If I don't grow and evolve my pursuit of her, I'll only ever be capable of loving her the way I did in the past. She doesn't receive love the way she once did, and I've learned to change the way I pursue her to match how she receives love. At first it was frustrating, but we've learned that growing up and changing doesn't mean falling out of love, or even that we become less compatible. We just needed to be reminded that marriage is a give and take. We ask each other several times a week, "What do you need from me?" It helps us understand where the other is and allows us to check our pride and motives regularly.